have done it without that kind of artificial boost that you get from being in one of the championships.
Exactly, and here we go. Game 1 underway of these finals. It's going to be RDU Zoo Warlock going up against Pavel's TempoMage, and like I said, the early turns are going to be absolutely critical for this one. And both players are right now looking at decent hands. Actually, really good hands.
Is double Mana Worm Arcane Missiles good?
I would say that's good.
Colon thinking colon.
But Faceless Summoner is not that great though, and so Pavel might be whiffing out on the turn 3 and 4. Maybe if he misses a play there, that can be something that he can't really recover from.
Right. So now suddenly RDU has to play a game of removal roulette in his hand. You know, he has to consider all the options. Frostbolt, Arcane Blast, you know, Mirror Image even is a relevant card. Arcane Missiles as well. When you make a play that is strong against the most of them possible, and he's going to go for the line here, and now Arcane Missiles is going to come out. Such a high percentage to be able to take out this 1-3 here. Just needs
what if it goes
single shot on it.
Oh,
even better.
That was incredible. It actually took out the flaming, but now RDU. Oh no, he really wanted to have that alive and to be able to trade with at least one of the mana worms, but now he can't really find a trade. No Direwolf available, no abusives in the deck.
I just want to pause proceedings for a second and ask, what kind of man is Pavel? Because he has one golden and one regular faceless summoner in his deck. This is an unforgivable sin, and I think we should disqualify him from this tournament immediately.
I think it's a punishment enough to be drawing it in the starting hand of a finals.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
Right now, Pavel does not have a play. Well, okay, there's a play. Maybe not the best one, but it does buff both of the mana worms, so that's something.
There's no real reason to use it though, right? He can just ping and double trade, and you know, Zoo doesn't really fight from off the board too well, so it doesn't really matter about the lost value on your mana worms. Like, the only thing that can affect this board is Knife Juggler, and even then it would have to be a lucky shot. So I would expect to see the Arcane Blast held onto in case there's no play available for Pavel next turn as well.
I would just go for it, because it is 2 damage immediately through those mana worms, so that's quite a bit. And I was actually mistaken there by saying that RDU doesn't run any abusive search, and there is one in the deck.
Interesting. Pavel choosing to just take the really aggressive line here and, you know, disrespect the possibility for RDU to trade. And I imagine a huge part of that is the fact that there is only one abusive in the deck, and abusive is the primary punish there in that situation.
Whoops, there's 2. Okay.
Savitz, please! Savitz!
There are 2. Okay, but anyway, moving on. There's the Blood Mage coming down, and a hero power. Not what Pavel was hoping for turn 4, but again, at least he has a play, not just playing, waiting for that turn 6. It could have been worse. He could have drawn something like a Firelands portal there.
I trusted you, man.
Yeah,
I feel betrayed, honestly.
I trusted me too.
Yeah, Blood Mage not the greatest pickup, but it's all about kind of just filling turns at this point. If he can continue being aggressive and at least do something passable on each turn leading into these Faceless Summoners, then just the raw stats on the board is going to represent a very imposing situation for RDU to deal with.
Yeah, this is looking like a nightmare for RDU right now. He's down to 14 HP already just from those mana worms. And Pavel is running a lot of burn. There's double Firelands portal. There's obviously 2 fireballs, 2 frostbolts, all of that burn. I mean, if there was a fireball, it would go extremely low already.
Wow.
Water Elemental. Okay, well, that's something to play, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is he traded into the Darkshire Councilman there with the likely intention of maybe taking a trade ping with the Mana Worm and looking for something to play alongside it, or drawing a spell and then getting the buff on the Mana Worm and trading in that way. Water Elemental does neither of those things, so from this point, it looks like he's just going to try and play minions and hope that enough of them stick that he can dig in some damage to face here and finish out the game.
Seems like it. RDU here. That Doom God looks quite tempting with the Silver Golem, but there is that tiny chance that if he went for that play, that the Silver Golem would not get on the board. And by playing the 2 jugglers here, he makes sure that the Doom God will get the Silver on the board. And not only that, but he's getting 2 juggles from that Imp Gang boss.
Yep, needs a juggle to hit the War Elemental. That is not a good face from RDU. I think they've both gone face. They have. It means the Water Elemental lives here. That's another potential 3 damage to his face if Pavel's on the race plan. But now that he's lost the board against Zoo, a pile of minions is not what you want in this situation because Zoo is just able to chew them up one by one. That's what Zoo does when they've established a board presence.
Yeah, like RDU did get back on the board, and he's going to be pulling even further ahead here. Soulfire, well, I can't play it. It gets discarded from the Doom God. You can't really risk it here. He could go for the Soulfire first if he was extremely greedy, and then play the Doom God, but I mean, that's a risk you can't take. Just no way.
So if he Doom Guards here, he still has plenty of damage to be able to clear up this board, right? So I don't really see the risk reward working out in his favor in terms of the Soulfire. So I agree with you. I'd like to see Doom Guard just come down here, get your free 3/3 on the board, get 2 knives in the process. I guess he's just thinking about sequencing in terms of trades preemptively so that he can have greater control about where the knives go.
If he wants to first trade into those minions, maybe with the Councilman. I guess that's the only consideration here.
Right.
And how much does he gonna wanna go for face, and how much does he wanna trade for?
Yeah, I think potentially trading into the Water Elemental with the Councilman is reasonable. The freeze won't matter too much when it's just a pink target. Anyway, he's going for it!
So you get... Oh no!
And the punish is enormous. Pavel gets the news of just how big that 50-50 was as the Silverware Golem is played from hand. That is a huge risk from RDU. Did he need to take that, Savitz?
I don't know. I felt like he didn't, but RDU, I guess, feels that he's so low on HP that he has to go for some kind of gamble. A little bit grumbling there. Is it the pressure getting to him or what? Because he played the Silverware Golem before live tapping. I don't really see the reason for that. He could have potentially picked up a better 3-mana card than the Silverware Golem to play instead of it.
That is a Argent Horse Rider, which means this could be a potential pretty big clear here, but he'll take 3 to face as well. That's perfectly fine in this situation. Means he can just dig the damage, and now any fireball that is drawn at any point this game is going to be lethal for Pavel as long as he lives alive long enough to tell.